Hello fellow leggers, you are joining us once again in London where we are visiting the Old Vic.
One of the most prestigious venues in London, and wow, what a lineup they've got this year. But right now we're here for Arthur Miller's The American Clock.
So stick around to find out our thoughts and how many stars.
And whether it's break a leg
or leg it. American Clock. Now, I'm a lover of this author, this writer.
Arthur Miller, I mean, he's one of the most prolific and controversial playwrights of the 20th century. He's American, and his other works include Death of a Salesman, The Crucible,
love it,
View from the Bridge,
love it,
and All My Sons, which is actually the next show here at the Old Vic.
Which you are very excited about.
I'm so excited about that because it has Sally Field. I mean, she's American, but let's call her Dame Sally Field for the amount of work that she's done in the arts and on film. And also Bill Pullman. I mean, Stella.
Yes, that's a good cast. But the American Clock, I don't actually know. So what do we need to know about the American Clock?
Well, the story takes place during the American Great Depression of the 1930s, following the Wall Street crash, as the Baum family moved from Manhattan to Brooklyn to live with relatives as they struggle to cope with the change in their fortunes.
Okay.
So a bit of a family drama, perhaps, which we always like, right? Because they're timeless. I mean, families are families, and issues are issues, and money is money, and these things are all still relevant.
It's true,
even though this,
it's why EastEnders is still doing so well.
That's it. Even though this play premiered in 1980 and is set in a much earlier period, it's all just still there, isn't it?
It's family
Nothing
drama.
truly goes away. Now, talking about great credits for the next show, this show has got some fantastic actors as well, no exception, including Clark Peters, who's famous for his role on The Wire. He wrote Five Guys Named Mo.
He's a very talented man.
And he's playing Robertson, Taylor and Mo until the 2nd of March. And we'll talk a little bit about him leaving mid-run later.
Okay.
Also, Claire Burt's in this, who we saw in Miss Littlewood. And for me, she was the best thing about that show.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to her. Now, notably, this production was due to star current Olivier Award winner Giles Terrera of Hamilton alumni.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately had to withdraw for personal reasons. So hope you're well, Giles.
Yeah, real shame.
Whatever the problem is, we're hoping to see you back on stage soon.
All our best.
As many Arthur Millers aren't, this isn't a short one. It's 3 hours in total, including the interval. So 2 hours 40 without. So we'll be a 30-second interval breakdown. Stick around for that.
And stick around to the end to hear our thoughts and find out how many stars. We've come to the interval of the American Clock, which means it is time for the Break-a-Leggers 30-second interval breakdown. Go!
What do you think so far?
Am I going to go first? Well, I feel as if it is a very theatrical piece comprising of all pieces of theatre. Sounds strange to say, but it's got dance, it's got drama, it's got text. Very dynamic, as we'd expect from this director, which we'll talk about at the end. How about you?
Yeah, vintage Rachel Chavkin. All the elements there from things like Natasha, Pierre and from Hadestown. I like the way it's been told in a really dynamic way. Am I bowled over by the text? Maybe not so much, but I think she is getting everything she possibly can from.
So we've come to the end of the American Clock. So what did you make of that?
I enjoyed it by and large. I've got to say the text is an absolute tome. It's really, really heavy. It flits about thematically and it is rather confused at times. But what elevates this to actually really an enjoyable level of entertainment is the production and is the direction by Rachel Chavkin. Although I do keep saying, going back to directors having a certain style, and you know, some directors shake it up and change things, but those do one thing well, still do it well. I'm thinking about Robert Icke, and I've seen every Icke now. I feel like I've seen them all. I'm thinking about Ivo van Hove. I'm thinking about him, and again, I've seen everything he can do, and that's the same with Rachel Chavkin. I think seeing things from Natasha, Pierre the Great Comet and things from Hadestown, the director has a certain style and it's all over this piece. It's also directed in a way that he's basically like a musical. And I think you'll talk about that now.
Well, it does say the title is The American Clock, a Vaudeville. And I don't know if that's the official title or the title.
This production,
and there is definitely an element of vaudeville to it. I think that during this time that it comments on, which is the Depression. We almost have one scene before the Depression when everything's in its heyday and we're kind of just teetering on the edge, and then we fall down into the chasm that is the Depression, the whole Wall Street crash, and how that affects people over the following next decade almost. And I guess vaudeville came to life during that time because people needed their escape.
And that's the point, isn't it?
Between killing themselves and jumping off of buildings. It's a very political piece.
And it's
apparently it's very early.
Early in Arthur Miller's writing career.
Early in Arthur, yes, and he makes almost quite a lot of statements on politics, on Marxism, socialism,
Caterpillarism.
Capitalism. He talks about caterpillars a lot. Capitalism. And you know, it's very political, the statement he's trying to make. It was almost too heavy for me, and we didn't dwell in any one place for too long in its writing. And I didn't really feel emotionally connected to the loss that they had. But they made up for it in the production.
And this piece has a lot to say. And I think what you've said actually with regards to thematically, I was asking the question, certainly going into the interval, about why are we seeing this now? Why is this relevant to this time period? And by the end, it is blatant and very, very clear that uncertainty is not a great thing, and you can make some very rash and very damaging decisions if you act within the moment, which can affect your life and a whole economy and a whole society. I can see that some of that in this Brexit era we're living in things that are going on in America with Trump and the division. Do you know what? This is a really political time for theatre right now. There's a lot of pieces that seem to be able to make this link, and I think this is one of them.
Yeah, they always go into this weird dance that seems to go on and on and on, and they're always asking the question, when is it going to stop?
Yeah.
When are people going to say that's enough and take control and almost revolt, I guess? And I guess that's almost the teetering on the unknown, and we don't know what is ahead. What with the deadline for Brexit looming and all the uncertainty. Anyway, politics aside, so that's the piece.
Yes.
Heavy piece, political.
Yes.
Let's go on to the production.
Now,
then.
the production is where this, for me, absolutely shines.
Comes alive!
It comes alive in that wonderful combination that Rachel Chavkin has pulled together with a team of fantastic lighting designers, sound designers, the scoring that is used, the cast that she's assembled, and the choreography.
Yeah, talented triple threat, singing, dancing, acting.
And the choreography for me, I'm going to go so far to say, was exhilarating at times. I was absolutely thrilled and left breathless by some of the choreography. It's of the era, yet it feels totally contemporary. Anne Yi has done an amazing, flawless job for me with the choreography. Because you don't talk about choreography in a play very much.
What is it? And I think that's it. A vaudeville. It is almost like a play with music, bordering on musical. No, not quite, but it's definitely a play with music. So yes, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, really loved that.
So great direction. Pulling this piece, it almost saves the production in a way, or amplifies what is a heavy tone, as you say.
It certainly lifts it for me.
Okay.
Also, Natasha Shivers as lighting designer. Also did
lighting.
Sylvia here, that had great lighting, so no surprises there, that's good. Justin Ellington, composer, along with Darren L. West on sound. Thought they were just fantastic.
Yeah, nice use of onstage musicians, so accompanying score at times throughout, as well as played in tracks to almost a funky modern day style as well. Okay, let's move on to some cast members.
Yeah, some cast members. So I know there were a few people that you liked, and we must mention first and foremost Clark Peters.
I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Love him. So confident, so competent.
Yeah.
Beautiful vocal tone and rich acting ability.
Plays Robertson Taylor Moe. Now, let's just take a moment to mention that all of the cast at least double up. In some cases, I mean, Christian
triple.
Patterson plays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roles, you know, and it can get a little bit confusing at times as to where we are.
Yeah,
but the
at points.
capability of these actors definitely, you know, means that I feel confident and comfortable with them.
So I guess we're not going to be able to mention everyone, but
No.
we should say at this stage that I thought the whole, personally, I don't know about you, but I thought the whole company was fantastic.
Yes.
And really, really bloody good.
If we have to pull out a couple of names, I would say James Garnon in the role of Mo One, Farmer Sheriff and Capush.
Oh,
You
I
say
loved
you've
him.
Seen him
Yeah,
in
he's got one of
things.
those faces that I've definitely seen on TV, and boy, is he a great actor. All of his characters were completely different, and I don't know what it is about tone, but someone's tone and those bassy tones just really do it for me. There's just something resonant about that type of actor. I felt just wanted to listen to him,
Yeah.
and at times he took such his time, just relished in the sound he was making. I really liked him a lot.
Also, extraordinary work from Francesca Mills in the roles of Diana, Harriet, Miss
really
Fowler,
liked
Doris,
her a
Isabel,
lot.
Lucy, and Edie.
I really liked her a lot.
She's a sensation. If this was nominated for anything, I think if I had to pull out a single performance, it would be her as supporting actress, because
Yes.
she is so comfortable and confident with the text. Do you know what? Let's give her a Lega nomination.
What? Ladies and
Let's
gentlemen,
do it.
a 2019 Lega nomination.
The Breaker Legas Award 2019 Best Supporting Actress,
Is that what we're gonna-
Francesca Mills, for her role in The American
Do you know what? I support that because I thought she was absolutely fantastic, actually. Who else are we going to say have we enjoyed?
I definitely enjoyed Ewan Wardrop and his fantastic tap skills.
Yeah.
His one-man percussion.
Now
he was
that
fantastic.
that's where it did really dive into almost musical theatre, vaudeville. And I imagine it was a monologue in the text, but they put it to music and a tap routine.
Yep.
Some clever conceptual
Genius.
ideas.
And Golda Rochouvel as Irene, Mrs. Taylor and Rose. She sings a lot of numbers, songs made famous from that era, but then later by people like Billie Holiday. What a beautiful voice. I could have just listened to her all day.
And within her acting, she has a beautiful, rich intensity to her, which I found completely captivating. I thought she was great.
Now, it's worth mentioning that whilst we've said Clark Peters is great, he's only playing this part until the 2nd of March. From the 4th of March till the end of the run, it's going to be played by Saul Remy. Now, we've seen Saul in Barbershop Chronicles. We saw him in The Drinking in the Congo at the Almeida before we were Leggers. He's fantastic. So if you get the chance to see him, you're still going to have an
Safe
absolutely
hands.
amazing experience. So check out for that. I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay, well then let's wrap up The American Clock, playing currently here at the Old Vic in London.
We are going to give
4 stars for this piece.
It's just like I say, the text is really heavy, but if you can just go and appreciate a fantastic production and what a director, a really talented director, can do when they are the potential for being bogged down by a text is there, but they don't allow it to happen. And I was enjoying it throughout.
Yeah, because there's stuff we haven't talked about as well, which we always talk about, such as diversity. The diversity on stage was fantastic,
Absolutely.
the creativity of that, and the creative ideas of having the one family represented by 3 different families, again, of that diverse mix. I really enjoyed that. Really appealed to me, so I liked it in that regard.
Just quick mention, the Old Vic is undergoing some refurbs this
Yes.
year, so take a little bit of extra time if you're coming to see a show here, because getting into the place is, you know what, they're making it really easy. They have people out, ushers out in the street and things like that, but it's a little bit different to what you might be expecting. But as a result of the refurbs, you're going to be getting more loos.
And you get sweets. We got sweets.
Yeah, they were handing out
chocolates,
candy.
Celebrations.
I mean, cheers, Old Vic. It's great to see you. But do you know what? Well, as with all of the shows that we see, this is just our opinion.
Just what I think.
What do you think? Have you seen this? Are you planning on seeing it? Or are you going to catch something out the Old Vic? You know where to go. It's just down below. We're the Breaker Leggers.
And we'll catch you again soon.
Bye!